Understanding the dyslexia identification process. This video is a guide for parents. Support for your child does not start with a dyslexia identification. If your child is experiencing difficulties, the school will already be supporting these. If you have any concerns about your child, contact the school. You will have further information about your child which will inform teaching and learning. But what might the school be doing to support my child? Here are some examples of the types of support your child may be receiving in school. Your child may form part of a small group or work as an individual and receive extra support from a teacher or a support for learning worker. Your child may be reading books in class that have a high interest level and match their reading ability. Alphabet art activities provide a multisensory support for reading and spelling. Other multisensory activities include using shaving foam to write letters or words, or going outside for outdoor learning and playing games like hopscotch to practice reading and writing letters and words. Your child may be using the computer in the classroom as an additional way to practice the overlearning of phonics, spelling and number work. Some Glasgow pupils now have access to iPads which provide a great resource and support in all areas of the curriculum, in particular for reading and writing. Alternatively, Glasgow pupils may be able to access a computer or a laptop to type their work. A variety of games are often used in the classroom as a fun way to reinforce reading, spelling and number work. When an initial concern is raised, the school will use specific paperwork to record this information. This paperwork then forms part of the evidence for the identification of dyslexia.
If concerns about your child persist, then we'll move to the next stage. Further investigations and assessments will be done with your child to help teachers plan further support. This support will be more targeted. It might mean further work with the accessibility options on the iPad, extra time to complete tasks or to think, breaking instructions down into smaller chunks, using visual reminders to support working memory with things like tables cards, or they might work as an individual or as part of a small group on a planned programme to develop their literacy skills. The GDSS website has suggested activities which will help reinforce what's being done at school. All the information that you can give about your child will be very useful. You'll be asked about how they're getting on with their homework, whether they have difficulties following instructions. School might want to know about their personal organisation skills. You may be asked to complete a questionnaire or have a conversation with one of the teachers. You could be asked about your child's hearing, or you may be asked to take them for an eye test. The school might talk to you about seeking advice from other agencies. You are likely to be given activities and advice about how you can support your child at home.
This all forms part of the evidence gathered for the identification of dyslexia and is collated and recorded with all other paperwork in school. When the school has gathered all the evidence, they summarise all this information in Form 3. The school will organise a meeting called a Dyslexia Staged Intervention and Inclusion Meeting, otherwise known as a Dyslexia SIM. At this meeting, following discussion, a decision will be made about your child. Regardless of whether your child receives an identification of dyslexia or not, rest assured support for your child will continue. If it is decided that your child is dyslexic, you and the school will decide how best to discuss this with your child. Here are some useful websites that can help. Dyslexia Unwrapped provides information for learners on living with dyslexia, and it also provides information for parents. The Dyslexia Scotland website provides useful information and leaflets for parents. Glasgow Dyslexia Support Service has a website for parents that provides information and resources in key areas of the curriculum. These resources can be used to support learning at home. A variety of books are available that explain dyslexia to children and young people. Brian Has Dyslexia by Woody Fox, I Have Dyslexia by David P. Hurford, Dyslexia Explained by Mike Jones. The books focus on strengths as well as needs and will help learners have a better understanding of dyslexia and how dyslexia affects them. An identification of dyslexia can have a positive impact on learners as it explains why they have been having difficulties with their work.